Orion behind the cage. Dash to his right and wraps it around to the goal. Ovo, O'Reilly over the top. Roy ready. Shot and score. Gets around Wheaton. Up and bounce. Shot and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score. Up top, Druin. He wants a shot and he's got it. Wow. Meanwhile, Arbusto. One-handed shot is up and in with an extra man. Bouvier sniping top corner. Sophomore goes back to it. Edzo turns and scores. Now inside of 4 minutes. Who's the man? Spellman's the man. That's who. Clark on the run. Shot and score. Meanwhile, Durkin to the cage. Shot and score. Chase. Extra feed. Shot and score. Game over. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Concord. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Souhegan Sabres and the Concord Crimson Tide. It's brought to you by Beals Insurance. A gorgeous afternoon here in the state capital. Sun out, temperatures almost in the 70s for the first time this spring as we get set for this week number 5. 5 already. Contest between these two Division I playoff contenders. Both teams hoping to get to the tournament. Souhegan, they've fallen on hard times. Sabres just 4-7. And after a 3-0 start, have lost 7 of their last 8, including their last 2. A blowout their last time out back on Friday, and a defeat against Pinkerton. Concord, on the other hand, coming off one of their larger wins last week. In recent years, the program now 5-5 after beating Bedford 11-1, followed up by a 15-2 victory at Keene out west. So Concord looking to go above the 500 mark for the first time this season. Souhegan trying to turn the ship around as we head down the stretch in the regular season, Roger.
Yeah, and that was a signature quality win last week for Concord, beating Bedford, and they beat them here on their home turf. This has always been a tough field for competitors that normally play on turf, on artificial turf, to come here. They have changed the field around a little bit. They've moved it from where it was over the last couple of years, but it's still got that football crown to it, and it's still grass. It's still a really tough place to navigate ground balls and play your game. If you're going to be playing the ball on the ground a lot, this is not where you want to be. Let's put it that way.
All right, coming up, we'll get Roger's keys to the game, starting lineups, and then game time here in Concord. Souhegan and Concord coming up next. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company, it's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Now, game time here in Concord. The Crimson Tide hosting Souhegan in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. Both teams looking for a win here with 3 weeks to go in the regular season. Roger, what do each of these teams need to do today?
Yeah, you got to watch for Concord. You got to watch Joey Tarble, their stud midfielder. He's a junior. Look for Parker Fredrickson to shut down the corners on defense. And Danny O'Brien, one of the coach's sons, he's also a captain, senior. Very, very tough on offense. Souhegan, watch for Mr. Manning, a returning player, Cole Manning. We remember him from last year. And he'll be the go-to guy for Souhegan.
Sabres in their road black, setting right to left in his first quarter. Souhegan going to win the face-off here and take a shot on the move that's knocked down. Rebound still up for grabs out in front of the cage, and now a whistle. Now the goalie took a shot right to the midsection. That's Andrew Mullen, the senior, who is rattled here for Souhegan.
Yeah, he took one right off the inner thigh, and that's a stunner when you get hit with a long pole shot like that. That was crazy. Hell of a way to start the game. Sebastian Nickel with the big step-down shot.
Mullen going to stay in, gives the thumbs up to first-year head coach Nick Lambros on the Souhegan sideline, says, I'm okay.
And we're looking for the ball.
Yeah, Souhegan's got it now in the cage, and Mullen is ready for the restart. Concord coming on the ride in their home white jerseys. Souhegan going to feather it up the sideline where it's dropped. Going to roll to the middle here, finally picked up off the grass. It looked like for a moment by Souhegan. Bradney Crow, one of the captains, took a tumble. The game's second whistle is a push against Concord. Souhegan will restart. And now the Sabres on their first trip on the attack. Look to strike first here with just over 30 seconds gone by.
Yeah, feeling out the turf here.
Tony Garant. Near side, going to pull it out on the wing. A lot of talking early here, it sounds like, from the Concord defense.
Yeah, we called Garant's name a few times last year when we did the Derryfield game. I think we did another one over at Souhegan later on in the season.
Here's a spin move. This is Manning. You mentioned him, Roger, a junior.
Yeah.
Got some experience last year as a sophomore, was a big part of the program. Their head coach, Keith Bertrand, longtime head coach Keith Bertrand, who departed in the offseason. Here's a bouncing shot offered up by Crow. The junior goes over the top of the crossbar, and Concord, some good hustle behind the cage, going to get the positioning and get the ball back.
Yeah, Jeff Smith, the coach of the Tide, on Sunday in our interview with him, said watch for Colby Bettens, the goalie, number 18. He's tough.
Well, Bettens just turned it over. Came out of the goalie's stick while he was out of the cage. And now another rough tumble here early by a Souhegan player. That's Colin Douglas. Another one of the captains, the junior, landed hard, it looked like. just in front of the cage, walking with a bit of a limp now as he retreats to the corner.
He's got a sleeve on his right knee. I wonder if he fell hard right there on the crease and aggravated that a little bit.
Yeah, may have landed on that knee.
Yeah.
Here's a spin move. Garant comes back to the middle.
Bad pass.
Bounce pass gets away from Crow. It goes into the Concord bench. Crimson, they get a turnover, and they look for a quick restart, but the officials pump the brakes. Two-man crew this afternoon, Roger.
Yeah, we got Tyler Leeds and Tim Bethke, two of the better officials out there.
Yeah, we've had Leeds do a few of our games that we've broadcasted.
Yes, we did. Yeah, Tim Bethke did the BG Bedford game last night.
Shot on the move from the long pole is denied. Great positioning there. Bettens on the stop. It was Brady Melvin with a pretty good look. Souhegan's going to get a second try, and Bettens says no again. Stops it low. Goalie out of the cage to track down the ground ball. Still looking for it, being harassed from behind by the Sabres' Aiden Lawrence. Senior going to stick with him. Now we got a pig pile. That ball planted on the grass about a foot or so away from the line. Officials get involved, blow the whistle, and he'll stay here with Souhegan.
Yeah, you know what? He needs to stay home. You don't want to get him hurt in a scrum this early in the game. There are times when you want to, get that ball back and, get a possession, but that's twice he's gotten caught outside.
Manning on a wraparound. Again, it ends up loose in front of the cage, and Concord is on it.
Good look.
Long clear, the bounce. Couldn't locate it. It was Kevin Jones tried to turn, and instead it ends up with the Souhegan defender, Finn Morin. Junior going to go across the zone. Billy Davidson, his first touch. The defender advances it up the sideline, and Garant has the clear.
Two good clears in a row by Souhegan.
Garant, short pass, same side. They find the trailer. The shot from Crow may have hit a defender before it ended up with Bettens.
Yes, it did.
Bettens another outlet down the middle. Giving chase is Tarbell. Can't get to it, or did he?
No, he is not. He is not offsides.
Offsides? Well, we got a whistle.
Well, he didn't count the guy behind him. Number 33 was on the field. Yep, he got it. No. Yeah, he got it right. Yeah, Tyler Leeds got the call right. He saw the 33 out in the back there.
Well, you were all over it, Roger.
Coach's eyes.
Souhegan trying to build an early ground ball advantage here early. That was, ironically, one of the keys that Coach Smith of Concord offered to us yesterday.
Right. Yeah, this is a field where you can't make mistakes in the midfield and throw the ball away.
There's a turnover near the cage. Manning couldn't keep it. And now again, Concord trying to clear here. Long pole going to do it himself up the far sideline, but give it right back. Jones, I thought he lost it. Sorry, goes to Tarbell in the middle, and now Concord will set up here for a rare trip into the zone here. 4 minutes in, just a second possession for the Concord attack.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot harder when we're at field level doing this with the background being more players. You have a tough time comprehending who's in the field and who's not.
It can be a little tricky, especially when the action's on that far sideline.
Right.
To his right, Tarbell.
Good look.
Tarbell squeezes it to the left, in and out of the stick of O'Brien. Had his eye on the cage. Backed up by the sophomore defenseman, Sebastian Nickel. Now it's Souhegan's turn to talk on defense. Game still scoreless, 4.5 minutes in.
Good slide by Souhegan there.
This is Nelson. Drops it back. Tarbell with room. Shot, score. Well, the defense froze for a second. A nice kind of drop-back pass that freed up the shooter, and Joey Tarbell does the rest. It's 1-0 Concord.
Like the way he changed planes on this, too, going low and then striking up in the far left corner. But you're right, the defense did kind of freeze. They had a good slide there on the original dodge, and just kind of popped out to Tarbell.
First face-off went to Concord. The second one does as well. That's Max Leahy. Gets to the ground ball, but his pass gets away from Nathaniel Doherty. Ends up out of play and back with Souhegan. Sabres again will get a taste of the ride. They've been patient on the clear. They look to the middle. Good jab here by Garant to shake loose. Now Garant down the middle. Got Manning to his left, but overthrows him.
Yeah, that's probably the third of there. He did call a tip. Yes, he did.
It's going to stay with Souhegan. I think a fortunate development there for the Sabres. They get to keep it, despite what would look like an off-target pass. Yeah. Meanwhile, Manning getting tied up here. That's Parker Fredrickson, the Concord defender that you mentioned.
Yep.
Looks like that's the assignment to watch, at least so far. Fredrickson and Manning. Meanwhile, this one is going to scoot back towards midfield and get away from everybody before finally Concord ends up with it. Doherty runs into a wall of black defenders and gives it right back to Souhegan.
Yeah, he lost his stick, and then that was a quick whistle because he was playing without his stick.
Pretty good hit there, though, by Doherty. Shook it loose. Brett Bouvier, the sophomore defender, helped out by the sideline there. The Sabres keep it. Souhegan trailing 1-0 midway through this first period. We're live here in the state capitol. Sabres trying to end a 2-game skid and get just their second win in now the last 9 games.
A good clear again. Good look.
Good catch in traffic and then a stop by the defender. That's Marshall Riedenauer. Big-bodied senior just stepped into the shooting lane and got a piece of the ball.
He sure did. It was a good look, though. Good cut.
There's a sky-high pass back to midfield. And again, another ground ball for Concord's Doherty, his third. Comes near side for Nelson. And the Tide going to slow it down. Crimson looking to build their lead here to 2-0. So we head towards the 5-minute mark, first period.
Yeah, you can clearly see the difference in what Souhegan perceives going to be a true bounce on ground balls here coming through the midfield to the defensive side. That's about the third one they've whiffed on.
Tarbell, good dodge, good bouncing shot, and he's got his second goal. Well, the junior got that initial burst, it looked like, to his right, and then a perfectly placed bouncer. He's got the home team in front now, 2-0.
Yeah, this is the guy to watch out for. I remember him last year and the year before, and he's got some good skills. He knows how to get on his horse and break. I wouldn't say break ankles on this particular one, but he knows how to make a pass so that he's got enough space to get his arms extended, and then he knows how to place the shot.
So Egan, after losing the first 2 faceoffs, going to get to this here. The wing, Brady Melvin, able to scoop it with the long stick. Now Melvin in trouble. And a timeout comes from the Souhegan sideline as Nick Lambros wants to talk it over. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait. It's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast. Visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. By the Dead River Company, a full-service heating provider committed to keeping New Hampshire warm with propane and heating oil. Learn more at deadriver.com. And finally, by the Bean Group and Roger Howe Real Estate, your local professional for all types of real estate, residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties. Call 603-247-1583. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. A couple of early goals for Concord's Joey Tarbell. He's got the home team in front 2-0. Souhegan in possession here now coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, and that's probably a pretty good timeout. It's middle part of the first quarter, but you got to stop things from getting away from you this early in the game as well, and that means Tarbell.
Meanwhile, the Sabres looking for their first goal. And you can hear Coach Lambros from that Souhegan sideline calling out the play here. They're going to pull everybody out and look for some spacing, it looks like. Cross zone pass, taken near side. First touch for Owen Nolek, the junior. Nolek going to flip it. Pass dropped off the head of the stick. Manning couldn't haul it in. It's turned over. Souhegan trying to catch up now as Concord's Matt O'Rourke gets a step on everyone up the sideline, gets the clear, and then gets a timeout from Coach Smith as Concord uses their first timeout here with 4 minutes and change remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he would call a timeout here. It didn't look like he was in distress on the sidelines there and in any risk of going out of bounds. They are comfortably in control of this game on offense, and they did get it over the half-field line. So with about 4 minutes left here, maybe he's looking to do something a little different here. But
well, how early is too early for adjustments? Is it ever too early for an in-game adjustment? I mean, what point does the game plan get scrapped if it's not going ideally?
You know, I think if you are a team that practices hard and practices every aspect of your offense, now I'm talking strictly about offense right now, you should be able to change things up in terms of sets and plays on the run. You shouldn't need to waste a timeout to change anything. The only time I would really actually do that at this point in the game if I were Concord is if I was going to go maybe from zone to man or something like that and want to get the right guys on the field for that, because some guys just don't get the concept of zone. But we'll see.
Well, Concord, meanwhile, threatening to open it up to a 3-0 lead here as we move inside of 4 minutes first quarter.
And he did change the set. He's now on a 1-4 here, and it didn't work.
Doherty turned it over near the cage. Sabres trying to work out of their own end. Done pretty well in terms of clearing here so far. Going to get a spin move, and now Moore and the defender runs into trouble at midfield and lost it. Doherty, I think the man to poke it loose. His teammate Nelson collects for Concord. He loses it. And in the end, it goes full circle back to Morin here on the near sideline for Souhegan. Looking for help from his defensive teammate. It's Billy Davidson, one of the senior captains. Davidson still with it, going to creep back towards the middle. Long pass knocked down in the middle of the field. That's Garand, who's immediately surrounded by 3 Concord defenders.
Not sure what that failure to advance. They were dawdling a little too much on this side of the field.
So that was a 20-second?
20, yeah, to get it over and get it in box.
I wasn't sure if that was a call or if it was offsides or what.
No, it was 20. I mean, they clearly were back and forth down this
end. That's a win for the Concord Ride. And now the attack trying to capitalize, push this lead back to up to 3-0 here as we head towards 2 minutes to go first quarter. Concord in no hurry. No shot clock, as we know, in high school lacrosse. Tarbell scored twice already. Looking for number 3. The 5-hole is slapped shut. Mullen. Some good reflexes there on the save. It gets out just as quickly on the outlet. No problem in the end for Connor Cassidy, the junior midfielder, on the clear. However, Manning, again, is stuck up here by Fredrickson. Loose. Concord's Riedenauer in the mix, and it's Riedenauer ultimately who gets to it. Helped out by his goaltender. Bettens back near side for Riedenauer. Bullet pass, and Fredrickson's got the clear. The long pole going to pump the brakes. Defender is Cassidy, giving him a cushion. And now it's back to the middle of the field, and the Tide are ready for their set.
Yeah, it looks like they're going back to where they were before at the beginning.
O'Brien going to jog. And now back here for Tarbell. Then a minute 20 here, first quarter. O'Brien. Oh, ended up in the middle there. Looked like it was knocked down, picked up, and then shot wide. Backed up by Nelson. Looks middle. Deflected.
In the crease.
Yep. Too many bodies around the cage.
And that was an opportunity there for Concord to have a nice long possession. They didn't need to make that long pass by Nelson.
Souhegan again turns it over on the clear attempt. Long pass ends up in the stick of the Crimson. Concord right back on the offensive here with 45 seconds, looking for their third goal of this first quarter. Nowhere to go for Nelson. Swing it back up top for Tarbell. Coach Smith, I think, thinking one here with 30 seconds.
I think so.
Near side, trying to lower that shoulder is Jonathan McDonald, the senior midfielder. Back up top, Tarbell. Down at 20 seconds. Tarbell, a dodge to his right.
Looking over.
Back up top, backed out by Doherty, who looks, I think, for the pick now. He's going to spin middle. Down to 10 seconds. Doherty.
No slide.
Gets inside the defender and then scores from a tough angle. Well, he got the step on the senior captain, Billy Davidson, but they're going to wave it off.
Wave it off.
As the shot attempt came too late, a foot in the crease. Souhegan dodges a bullet, and we head to the second period. Well, Concord looking like the better team out of the gate. 12 minutes in, home team with a 2-0 lead. Souhegan looking for an answer when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, Concord, a team made up of a bunch of multi-sport athletes, according to head coach Jeff Smith. They've been improving week by week and are looking for their third straight win. They've got a 2-0 lead on the board, and after what looked like kind of a questionable start, they pulled it together about midway through the period, got 2 goals from junior Joey Tarbell, and look like they're on their way here at least through 12 minutes.
Yeah, and Tarbell, he was in that game you and I did late in the season last year at Souhegan High School. Souhegan won that one decisively, 15-9. He figured in a couple of goals during that game. Cole Manning had 3 goals in that game last year. So these are guys that have got an extra year now under their belt, and Tarbell is certainly the go-to guy, and we've already seen Manning draw the best defender that the Tide has, and that's been a stalemate so far. So we'll look to see what they can do to broaden the offense a little bit here from Souhegan's standpoint. They got to get possession and stop throwing the ball away, though.
Been an uphill climb seemingly against this Concord ride, as the Crimson were able to produce several turnovers.
I guess they're going to give that one to Concord because they released.
Tarbell going to jog near side. He's got a man open in front of the net. Wide open. The bouncer is sent back. Good stop by Mullen. The long pole was wide open there. Max Leahy, long stick defender, was freed up somehow in the attack zone. Got the shot off, but again, Mullen on the doorstep, able to close it down. Now another ground ball, another whistle, and now another Concord possession on the way. Long outlet pulled in with one arm by O'Brien. Gets it to Tarbell, goal line extended. Crimson looking to settle in. Tarbell, 2 goals in that first period.
Oh, nice look.
First one at about 5 minutes in, the second one 2 minutes later. Pass broken up in front of the cage. Ball ends up on the far sideline. Concord gets to it. We get a whistle. Looks like a push against Souhegan, who will stay here. Crimson 2 straight wins. A big win over Bedford. Caught a lot of folks by surprise. 11-2 the final. Late last week, and then Friday they beat Keene 15-2 for their 5th win. So it seems like if they can get this one here to make it 3 straight, they've got another test coming up 3 days from now against Londonderry. But Concord, with a win this afternoon, would be above the 500 mark for the first time this season, and really in the conversation for a playoff spot. Here's a bouncer from O'Brien that goes too far. Good hustle behind the cage by Souhegan's Josh Dubois. Get the Sabres the ball back.
Yeah, and they have broached the top 10 in the New Hampshire High School coaches poll this week. They are in the 10th slot, Concord that is. But a couple things they said, Coach Smith said on Sunday that I really liked, which was in his explanation of the Bedford win. He just said, we didn't do anything really special. They threw a zone at us early. They went back to man, but we just told the guys, this is what we want you to do, and they went out and executed. And that you love hearing that or seeing that as a coach, that you're getting through to these guys.
Right. Meanwhile, Souhegan under first-year head coach Nick Lambros, as we mentioned, took over for longtime head coach Keith Bertrand. Looking for their first goal this afternoon. A runner, tough angle along the near side post, denied by Bettens, but Concord going to turn it over.
I think he's calling some sort of interference on Concord.
It's going to stay here. Essentially a do-over for the Sabres. Nearly 3 minutes in, second quarter. Souhegan dropped 2 straight, 7 of their last 8. This followed a 3-0 start before the hard times settled in. Of course, this is a program that has gone up and down between D1 and D2 several times over the last decade plus. And Roger, it looks like they're going to head back down to Division II next year in 2023.
That's what I'm hearing through the grapevine. I spoke with Coach Lambros before the game, and I don't think he's too happy about that. I think he would like to stay in the more competitive division where the travel is a little bit easier, and he can build on his program. You and I spoke before camera that I've seen Souhegan go up and down 3 times in the time span that I've been involved in New Hampshire high school sports lacrosse, and they've actually made it to the championship in Division II back in 2011. They lost that game to Dover, and they haven't been back to the big game since.
Meanwhile, good clear here by Souhegan. Sam Stevenson, the sophomore, escorts it across midfield. And now Coach Lambros is going to slow it down here. Attack looking to get on the board. 4 minutes in, second quarter. What have we seen so far here from Souhegan? Roger, they've obviously been held off the board, but they've gotten some shots off.
That's
Is Durant going to go down, and we're going to get the game's first penalty. Both officials throw the flag. Quick shot from Crow, sails over the crossbar. Now we'll see what the penalties are about.
Yeah, this is going to be number 16 on defense, and that's going to be a hold. He put the gate down. He didn't release what we call equal pressure there. Give you a classic example. Parker down here was playing Manning, and he was equal pressure the whole time, and they didn't call the hold. But this one here was a true hook and hold.
Another rough landing for Tony Garant. He's been on the grass often in this first half as he landed hard on his shoulder, his knee. Tough kid here getting tested. All right, golden opportunity for Souhegan here. The road team with the first EMO of the game, looking for a man-up goal to get them on the board and cut this Concord lead in half.
All right, so you got 30 seconds here, and I love it. They're moving right from the whistle. Don't waste any time on 30-second technicals. Of course, you got to catch and throw here.
Manning regroups. Got a man off the screen. It's Garant, fires on the run. Ends up wide again. Down to 30 seconds on the penalty. On the wing, low shot, had some speed on it. It was Duckless who pulled the trigger. Manning.
Ooh,
Near
nice.
side. There's a shot. Another block save as Bettens closes the door. Concord gets to it. And now the Crimson Tide looking to kill off the remainder of the penalty. Tarbell slipped on the grass, coughed it up. Sabres have it. Trying to clear. They come middle here for Crow. And now Crow with numbers. It's a 4-on-3. Pass. Goes through everybody, out of play. Turn back over to Concord. Right idea, Roger, but we've seen, I think, just too many of these passes for Souhegan sail away from the targets.
Yeah, you can't play a game and have that many unforced errors like we're seeing so far from the Black. And it appears just to be inexperience. I mean, they've got 5-6 seniors on this team. There's only a couple of them that are really figuring in the minutes, but the rest of the team needs to just slow it down a little bit and get sharp.
Concord going to take a breath here after they successfully kill off the penalty a moment ago. Attack looking for their first goal of this second quarter. Nice pass, and there's the finish. Right in front, it's Doherty. Well, good movement there. And Doherty finds a little real estate along the near post. Concord's got their third goal just past the midway point of the second quarter.
Yeah, that nice little sneaky inside play by Doherty to get through into the backside of the slide. And Danny O'Brien finds him right there parked on the crease. Not a whole lot that the goaltender could do there. Just a really good lacrosse play.
So 2 goals from Joey Tarbell in the first quarter gave Concord the 2-0 lead after 1. And then another junior checks in. It's Doherty. Cashes in from just outside the crease. I think an early start there against Concord gives Souhegan their second face-off win. This is Maddox McGrath going to draw a flag. Big body pile up in front of the cage. Concord gets to it. And now the stoppage comes. Take another penalty here against Concord.
It's going to be number 30 from the Tide by the looks.
They had just killed off the Jonathan McDonald penalty.
Slash.
And now it's Reese Riedenauer.
It's number 4, yeah.
Nope, not Reese Riedenauer. Actually, Kevin Jones, the senior defender. And with that, Souhegan going to take their second and final timeout of this first half with just over 5.5 to go before halftime. Coming up at halftime, a complete recap of the first half, stats, highlights, and analysis here from the Capitol. And a look around the out-of-state scoreboard as well. Kind of a quiet Tuesday as we kick off week number 5 here in the NHIAA. Don't forget to subscribe. We're on YouTube at FNLNH Media. Hit the subscribe button, free to do so. You'll be notified whenever we go live if you hit the bell icon as well. Again, FNLNH Media on YouTube is our YouTube channel. Nick had asked this, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Yeah, and talking to the coach from Souhegan, one of the things he said that really resonated in what he's trying to do here, and that is he just said right out, I need to do more with the community, with the Amherst folks and the Mount Vernon boys that are going to Souhegan right now. And in my mind, that starts grassroots with the youth program.
Which, from my understanding, has seen a little bit of a numbers drop over the last few years.
I don't know that for a fact, but I got a feel between what I've seen at Bedford, what I've seen at Londonderry. Londonderry at one point back in the day was the most prolific, had the highest numbers in youth lacrosse. Bedford was right up there. Derry was right up there. You're just not seeing those numbers anymore. Souhegan has always had a very, very strong youth program, and he admits he needs to do more to bring that up, bring it back.
Yeah. Well, the COVID-19 situation, I don't think, helped anybody in that regard.
No.
And may take some time to build those numbers back up.
Sure.
Meanwhile, another big hit as this first half has taken a bit of a physical tone. Ball coughed up in front of the cage. Concord gets to
Good
it.
look.
And another nice long outlet pass is going to free up the clear. As Max Leahy looks for the step. Leahy, the long pole, wants the shot, and he's got the score. Well, he just kept going, made that initial dodge, kept going to his right, and said, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger here, found the shooting lane, and got the bouncer to give Concord now a 4-0 lead.
And this all started with a successful clear, went from the goaltender, Bettens, over to his left side defender, and right up to Leahy here at half field. And once he got that space between maybe the wing line here and the top of the box, he was off to the races. That's his second shot on goal. He got the initial shot off the first face-off.
That's right.
And now he's obviously got a little knack going there. Good for him.
That's some good shot on the speed on the shot, on both shots. In fact, that first offering seconds into the game caused a little bit of pause for the Souhegan goaltender Andrew Mullen after Mullen took a blazing shot off the chest.
The old heart thumper, we call him.
Yeah. All right, Souhegan looking for an answer as we head toward the 4-minute mark in this second quarter. Still trying to get on the board after what's been kind of an inconsistent performance on the attack in this first half. Garant trying to split dodge and lost it. The bouncer picked up by Bettens. Outlet collected by McDonald, who's going to take it across midfield. Concord's been pretty clock-like, very mechanical, we'll say, on their clears here through the first two quarters.
Yeah, and in that first, Souhegan was doing a pretty good job of covering up in the middle, but now they're just going to the wings, and the wings are wide open. It's hard to get on this side of the field, too, from the box when you're trying to change offensive and defensive midfielders.
There's a good turnover for the Souhegan defense. Donovan able to poke it ahead to himself and collect. Ultimately, it's Mullen. Near side, the long pole. Bouvier stepped out of bounds. Well, caught it with little room to spare here in front of us on the near sideline. Not sure if he was quite aware when he came down of exactly where he was.
Yeah, and the trajectory of that ball was really high, so I think he got a little mystified as to where his footing was. Nice turn. Oh, he missed it.
Got the look they wanted. Nelson behind the cage, able to secure, and then Coach Smith uses his second and final timeout of this first half with just outside of 3 minutes remaining.
Hey, I like what I see out of Concord. I mean, they're starting to pull things together. As you just mentioned, they had a really good run of clears there, 3 or 4 in a row. They're finding open men. They're not making the same mistakes that Souhegan's making on the offensive side of the field. Souhegan just looks like a very young team right now. They don't have guys in key places the way Concord, Bedford, some of the more experienced and skilled teams have, whether it's because of their class or just because they don't have guys that can fill those shoes right now.
A lot of sophomores, it looks like, on the Souhegan roster. As you mentioned, a smaller senior class. Not a whole lot of juniors either, but there are some sophomores who are cutting their teeth, so to speak, in real time.
Yeah, and I will give the Souhegan program a little bit of kudos here because I got their entire roster from the athletic department and Coach Lambros early this morning, and they've got a very, very large JV class or team put together. So there's
That's
guys.
good news.
It is. They got guys in the pipeline, and I think he's got it right. We've got to start getting involved in all aspects of the Souhegan program from youth to high school.
All right, Concord, they've looked good in this first half. They got a 4-0 lead. Entry pass there, broken up on a good defensive anticipation. Finn Morin trying to stick with it, the long pole, trying to get inside here to collect this ground ball. Looks like he's got 2 Concord players on his back, and that allows his teammate, the sophomore Stevenson, to collect, but Stevenson runs out of room along the near sideline.
Yeah, Doherty played that angle perfectly and just rode his hip right to the sideline, just the way you want to play it.
This Concord ride's been impressive.
Yeah.
Coming up on 2 minutes, second quarter. Tide looking for a 5-0 lead. Tarbell scored twice in the first period. Goes far side. This is Parker Savoy, who has played sparingly, but the senior on the field on this trip. Near side, O'Brien. Giving room to roam, back to the top of the box, far side Nelson. Tarbell going to backtrack. Concord okay, it looks like, or rather Souhegan with giving some room here on the perimeter. Concord going to be patient, but they throw it away here.
He stepped on the line.
A couple of bounces back to midfield, and in the end, Concord going to keep it. Manning not happy with the call, the junior questioning the official.
Well, I mean, we're literally standing right on the 50-yard line, and both players stepped. And I think official Bethke is just awarding it who was less offending on the step.
Meanwhile, Nelson going to work here, the perimeter. Finally, there's an opening, and there it is. Able to find some room low. That's Savoy. Senior with his first shot. Sneaks it just inside the near post. Now 5-0 Concord.
This was a nice little setup. I like what Doherty did. He popped out of his wing slot, came across and grabbed that ball at the top of the box and just did a little dip right inside the crease and got a slide opening that left Savoy wide open. Good play. Doherty's impressing me already.
Yeah. Done a little bit of everything in this first half. A few ground balls. And a good extra pass. Leading to the 5th goal for Concord. This one's still loose off the face-off. Stabbed in the middle of the field by Riedenauer. Concord gets another face-off win. Long bouncer. With the head-high bounce, Doherty collects. And Concord is right back in business as we're down to the final minute of this first half. Sabre defense trying to talk here as Tarbell with a dodge to his right. Now goal line extended, pulls it back. This is Reed Merrill with a rare touch. Merrill, the junior midfielder. Part of this deep junior class for the home team. O'Brien flips it for Tarbell. Backdoor shot denied. Mullen
That was
able to get his stick up. It looked like the last second to get a piece of that and redirect it out of bounds.
That was a great look by Tarbell and a great turn by McDonald. He didn't waste any time. And that went off the grill, I think, of the goalie.
It was either the grill or I thought he got the stick on it. Either way, it was a good play either way. Meanwhile, Doherty chopped from behind.
Good luck.
That's Bouvier who broke it up for Souhegan. Now a full sprint near sideline.
Oh, nice play.
That's tiptoeing as Melvin. Had to get rid of it to keep it in bounds. Concord has it now the other way.
No time.
This is Riedenauer, down to 10 seconds. Riedenauer for Nelson, the trailer. Spin move in traffic, McDonald. One last pass goes off the foot. It looked like the left shoe of Doherty before the Sabre defender, Finn Morin, collects and runs out the clock. That'll do it for the first half here in the capital. Concord with a 5-0 lead over Souhegan.
I got to tell you, they've really started pulling it together there in that second quarter, Crimson Tide, that is, and I like what I'm seeing with some of this. They're using more of a freelance offense right now, and I think Coach Smith, he said it all on Sunday. I'm just going to let these guys feel it out, use their skills, and put them in spots where they, can be successful and feel this game out. And they've got that space that Souhegan's giving them, and they're using it to their advantage.
Coming up in just a few moments, a look back at that first half. Stats, highlights, analysis. We'll look ahead to the second half, plus a look around the Tuesday scoreboard. Get some statewide scores for you coming up in just a few minutes. Halftime here at Memorial Field. Concord, a 5-0 lead over Souhegan. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company, it's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Start of the second half here in Concord. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Concord, a 5-0 lead over Souhegan. 2 first-quarter goals from junior Joey Tarbell set the tone. Early second quarter, Nathaniel Doherty scored at the midway point to make it 3-0. And then in the final 5 minutes, Max Leahy, the long pole, with an impressive shot. Savoy, after good ball movement in the final 90 seconds, made it 5-0. And that's where we are as we begin the third quarter. Concord looking for their third straight win.
Yeah, and Souhegan just needs to clean up the play when they have possession and stop throwing the ball away. They got to possess the ball. They got to get something on the board here.
Too many turnovers in that first quarter, I'd imagine, for first-year head coach Nick Lambros's liking.
Look at this. Good hustle.
Tarbell just gets to midfield and avoids. Pretty good swipe from behind, offered up by Manning. Here's a shot on the move. Ends up wide of the target.
And that's our friend Mr. Leahy getting his third take at the goal.
Yeah, he's listed as a defender, of course, but he's managed a few looks on the offensive end.
Sure, and I mean he creeped into the middle of the crease area as a cutter there.
Souhegan trying to talk defensively, and it may have paid off. As they pressure that pass, it gets away from O'Brien. It's turned over back to the Sabres.
Yeah, they're going to... There we go. Okay. I was looking over at the bench there. I thought they were going to leave that midfielder on, but here we go.
Garant, Crow trying to free up Manning. That pass may have been tipped. Fredrickson near side, battling with Manning, trying to keep him on the backside, helped
move.
out by Jones. And ultimately it's Fredrickson up the near sideline. Good floating pass. Tarbell going to tiptoe to stay inbound along the near sideline and now put it in park behind the cage.
A couple of really nice plays there by Fredrickson down low. He grabbed the ball in that scrum pile, did a little head fake and a hitch move, rolled out, and then just took off upside the right side of the field and got it up field to Tarbell. Nice clear.
One of Concord's better defensemen. Making a good play there, a good all-around play. Meanwhile, O'Brien gets a whistle there, and
loose ball hold.
Yeah, the double team was in place. That's what Coach Lambros wanted for Souhegan, but a little too aggressive, it looked like. Concord, Roger, unofficially, of course, has won the ground ball battle, the time of possession battle, and the shots on goal category as well, right?
Yeah, and they're missing the goal, too, because
they had one waved off, right?
We had one waved off in the crease. They've been getting the shots off, but they're just not getting to the there. Now there's a good save right there.
And Mullen trying to hold his own. Got to stick low there. Made the save down by the toes.
Yeah.
Up top, Doherty with a wind and fire. That one sails away. It'll stay at this end with now 2 minutes gone by third quarter.
Yeah, and Mullins only had 6 saves, but we've seen a lot of shots, like you said. And only 5 goals, so I mean that means they're missing the net quite a bit. Another one
high. And meanwhile, Roger, on the other side, Souhegan has had trouble consistently producing shots on the attack, right?
Yeah, and it's all because of the stick skills. They're throwing things away, unforced errors. I can't even really say that they're getting good looks and good dodges yet because they just don't seem to be able to establish anything that's solid.
Well, the Sabre defense trying to do what they can do to stay in the game. They forced a turnover, but then again on the clear, they give it right back at midfield.
Classic unforced error. He just should have kept going straight. Just run it out.
It's been the story of the first 2 quarters in 3 minutes here as we're 3 minutes old second half.
But again, that was Brett Bouvier, one of the defenders, and he's a sophomore. I mean, you need that extra coaching. You need that extra, hey, when you get faced with a wall in front of you and you got nowhere to go, just you got to truck it out over and back.
And meanwhile, Concord, they've started to pile up a few turnovers out of the gate here in this third quarter.
Well, when I hesitated there at that stoppage where 16 had thrown the ball out of bounds down there, I was just about to say, they're almost being bitten with the unforced error bug.
Yeah.
And here it is. That's probably their third or fourth turnover without a whole lot of menacing play from the Black.
Meanwhile, behind net, duckless. The official had to duck to get out of the way of that pass there. Manning able to recoup. And again, Coach Lambros, you can hear, issuing from the sideline the instruction.
Well, they're going back to basics here, Nick. They're back into a circle offense, and let's pass and catch. Let's feel it out a little bit, and let's try and find the break, like right here. Good double.
Going to bowl his way. That's Lawrence.
And there it is.
There's the pass, the
Nice.
shot, the
And
rebound, and the score. However,
give it to him,
okay,
yeah.
I thought they were going to wave it off.
Me
It will
too.
stand.
Me too.
That's Owen Nolik, the junior, in the right place at the right time to follow up the miss and finally put Souhegan on the board.
And Bettens makes the initial save off that great cut by Tony Gallant, or Garant, that is, I'm sorry, and it pops right out of his stick, right to Owen Nolik, and he's right at the right spot. Good play.
Comes with 4 minutes gone by in this third quarter. So Souhegan gets that monkey off their back and are within 4. Concord, though, going to win the face-off.
And that's got to give them a real good boost because, like I said, they went right back to a circle offense there with that possession. You could hear the coach telling them to slow it down, find the break, and when you spread out that wide, you are really forcing the defense to make wide adjacent slides. Good turn
Garant
again.
going
There
to
it is.
fire and score on the run. I thought it was Garant.
It was Garant.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it 5 or 6?
I had 5.
I think it was
It is
6.
Aiden Lawrence. Yeah,
it was
there
Aiden
is.
Lawrence.
How about that? Yeah.
The senior showing you the good skill set there. On the move, full speed. And able to fire despite the fact that there were defenders behind and in front.
Yeah, quick whistle on the over and back, and they took advantage of it. Looks like there's some new energy coming out of the Sabres here.
Yeah.
And
Back-to-back goals will do that.
And there it.
Less than 30 seconds apart.
They're going to
I
give
thought I heard one of the head coaches calling for a timeout there a moment ago. Not going to get it.
Boy, I hope not. I mean, you got momentum.
I thought it may have been Concord when the ball was up for grabs, but
Yeah, I mean,
the Crimson never quite officially had it. So
Yeah.
Coach Smith going to hope his defense can just figure it out on their own here in real time.
Well, I mean, it could be. That last goal was kind of a fast break off a fast whistle. Maybe he saw something there where they didn't get back into the defensive part of the box quickly enough and, raised his ire a bit and wanted to get it off. But
Well, Souhegan scoreless for the first 28 minutes of the game. Now looking for their third straight goal in the last 2 minutes. Trying to weave through his crow. He's getting hacked at from every direction. Flag flies, whistles blown. And we get a stoppage here about midway through the quarter. Penalty on the way.
yeah, I'm not sure who it is, but it looks like he got hit right at the top of the helmet. Yeah, number 4.
Well, he's upset. That's Kevin Jones, the defender, who's serving his second penalty of the game. We saw 2 go against Concord in that first half, none against Souhegan.
I didn't see the call, but it certainly wasn't a push, so maybe it's a cross-check, because I saw Crow's helmet go back a little bit. Oh,
Another
nice play.
shot, another score. That's Lawrence again. Suddenly, the visitors have awoken. A man-up goal here. And now 3 goals in the last minute 45 or so for Souhegan. Have got them right back in the game at 5-3.
This is a sweet little play. I love it. The misdirection where you're going in one direction, the defense follows. The 5-1 just flows over to where Manning is, and he just backtracks a little bit, looks over his shoulder, and finds the opening. And there's our pal, Mr. Lawrence, right there. 2 in a row for him.
Yep. Meanwhile, Alberici, the face-off man, went flying. Pushed in the back. Coach Smith, I think, wanted a penalty. Instead, he'll have to settle for possession.
Oh, he did not call possession. Okay.
Tarbell on the restart. We move inside of 6 minutes, third quarter. Concord been held off the board so far since halftime. Trying to rebuild a 3-goal lead here on this trip. Tarbell looking toward the sideline for instruction. A little give and go with Nelson. Tarbell off the bounce. Dodge to his right. Got the step on the sophomore defender, Stevenson. Brings him behind the cage. Look at the pass. Wide open in front, but it goes high.
Wow.
Great opportunity for Parker Savoy to cash in for the second time, but he goes high on the shot attempt.
Man, that's 3 straight shots over the crossbar.
A good pass from Tarbell. Tarbell got the party started. 2 goals in that first quarter for Concord. Here he is to his right, the junior. Another bouncing attempt. Goes skyward and ultimately out of bounds behind the cage. Concord extended that 2-0 lead to 3-0 with a Nathaniel Doherty goal midway through the second quarter. And then 2 more in the final 5 minutes. Max Leahy, Parker Savoy. Home team had a 5-0 lead at halftime. Early in this third quarter, Souhegan has come alive. Owen Nolik, Aiden Lawrence. 3 goals in less than 2 minutes. Got the Sabres right back in the game now with inside of 5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Oh, nice.
Shot, score. Tarbell's got the hat trick. Well, a great shooting lane there. It looked like Roger opened up along the near side wing, and the junior didn't have to be told twice. He's got his third. Concord's got a 6-3 lead.
Well, he had the prior shot that he really kind of nosedived into the ground, released it a little too soon. And this one, he had a nice step down just inside the box and dropped his arms just a little bit, got a little sidearm into it, and got the true bounce because he was really able to put some steam on that.
On the face-off. Going to come near side, fanned at by Concord's Matt O'Rourke. Garant trying to stick with it for Souhegan. Pushed ahead by Leahy. Garant, another stab, and ultimately it's O'Rourke for Concord. Another win at X for the Crimson Tide. Although that one took a while to secure.
Well, it seems to be the trend here today. We don't really see, a Cole Frank, J.J. Murphy type of Fogo out there that's dominating and just, pinching and popping and getting on with it.
A lot of ground ball action on the wings, right?
Yeah, and I hate to say it again, but on natural grass, that's what you're going to have, long scrums like that.
Well, again, we spoke with Jeff Smith, Concord head coach, back on Sunday morning, part of our Friday Night Lights FNL Lacrosse coverage. Weekly show, 9 a.m. every Sunday, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Coach Smith said ground balls were going to be key, not only in this game, Roger, but really the rest of the way, the rest of the season, and hopefully for Concord heading into the tournament, if the Crimson can punch their ticket with another few wins here.
Yeah, and that's the key to lacrosse in general, is that if you're winning the ground ball battle and you're gaining possession, then it's a rare situation where you're not in the lead or winning.
Meanwhile, Jones and Stevenson in a wrestling match there on that far corner when the ball went out of play. He's going to stay with Souhegan. Stevenson going to stay here. He's played pretty well on both ends. The young sophomore for Souhegan.
Oh, good play.
Crow dropped it, paid the price. Garant trying to bail him out.
Oh, chicken
Escapes the defender's clutch with one arm and keeps it at this end for the visitors.
Yeah, I think the Concord bench was looking for a ward there, but he had him chicken winged. He couldn't get his arm out of there. Oh, nice.
Shot.
Outside.
Ended up in the netting. Lawrence looking for his third. Tough angle there.
Oh, nice clear. Here we go. Oh, catch the ball.
He gets behind O'Brien, but a good recovery there off the bounce. Concord with numbers. Fire on the run. It hits the crossbar. Ricochet ends up all the way over here on the near side.
That was a rocket.
It was. Certainly rocked the cage when it hit the bar.
I love that kid's release. He just got it.
Yeah, it looks like Garant took a shot in the midsection.
He sure did.
But escapes. Now Manning.
They got to get a touch here. Yep.
You got to delay a game here?
Yes, we do.
Explain that to me, Roger.
Well, he didn't get in the box. They got possession down here.
So it's 20 to get past the midfield?
I think that's what he's talking about, what Jeff Smith is griping about right now.
Well, they were definitely past midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure then, Nick.
So Souhegan turns it over. Concord's okay with it. A 6-3 lead on the board. Now 2 minutes to go, third quarter. They take back over. Crimson Tide to play it out in front from the get-go. The first goal came nearly 5 minutes into that first quarter, and they have not looked back. Meanwhile, we got a low-flying helicopter coming in right here over the field. You can hear it. Gorgeous afternoon, a little windy earlier.
Oh,
the laser shot, a low offering, ends up wide. And again, really the most gorgeous day of May yet, in my opinion. Sun out, not a whole lot of cloud coverage.
it's beautiful.
And again, nearly 70 degrees here in the state capitol. All right, Tarbell wants a one-on-one with Garant here. Going to bring the defender behind the cage. Pass
nice.
to a cutter,
And
shot, and score. Jonathan McDonald took the pass from behind the cage and did the rest. 7-3, Concord.
Really nice play from behind here. Tarbell just turns quickly. It looks like he was going to go to Doherty. He turns real quickly and sees the cutter. And McDonald does his part this time.
First goal for McDonald. An assist for Tarbell, who's starting to put together a pretty good game on attack, Roger. 3 goals. Had what should have been an assist earlier in this third quarter. Definitely gets a dime there. And starting to put together a pretty good stat line.
Yes, he is, as he did before.
All right, Souhegan in search of an answer as we step inside the final minute of this third quarter. Back-to-back goals from Concord. Sabres trail by 4 again. Pile up on that far sideline. Looks like Lawrence got knocked down and was ruled the last to touch it. Turned over. Long pass. Pulled in by the long pole. This is Leahy. Back out for O'Brien with inside of 40 seconds. O'Brien looking like drawing a double team out in no man's land. Tarbell now on the far side. Tried to dodge, but lost the ball. Flies out of his stick. Moore in the defender with the clear. Comes near side. Now down the middle is Douglas. Douglas for Manning. Bouncing shot and score. Boy, a tough angle. Took a bounce. Looked like below. Came back up below the knee of Bettens on that far side. Gets inside the far side pole. Souhegan gets a response with just 19 seconds to go in this third quarter, now 7-4.
And give it to Manning. He turned his body like he was going to pass across, and he actually finds a seam right between Betten's legs, and he puts it in there. That was a really good play by them.
Cole Manning from a long line of Manning brothers that have come through the Souhegan program over the last decade gets his first goal of the afternoon. The junior pulls his team within 3. The goaltender going to make a play here. That's the senior Andrew Mullen. And the Sabres are going to run out the clock in their own end as we head to the fourth quarter. Concord's lead is trimmed to 3, 7-4. Crimson Tide after 3. Will the home team win their 3rd straight? Or is it Souhegan's turn to end the losing streak? We begin to find out with the fourth quarter next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Yeah, I missed one somewhere, but...
All right, back here in Concord, Crimson Tide with a 7-4 lead as we head to the fourth quarter. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Week number 5 statewide. The NHIAA schedule, regular season.
A light schedule.
Here. Yeah,
light schedule today.
3 weeks to go before the tournament, a light Tuesday affair. We'll check with those scores after the game. Concord has led throughout. They led 5-0 at half, their largest lead. Souhegan, 3 straight goals to open up the second half. Brought them within 2. Concord answered with a mini run. Goals from Tarbell, his 3rd. McDonald, his 1st, made it 7-3. And then in the final 20 seconds, Cole Manning able to finish for Souhegan. Sabres are back within 3. They're going to get a shot off the run here. Seconds into this fourth quarter. No problem, though, for Colby Bettens, who's been up to the task more often than not today for Concord.
Yeah, I would not have had him take that shot there. If you're going to shoot like that, you need to get it on the ground.
Concord looking for their 3rd win in a row. And they're 6th on the season, trying to go above the 500 mark for the first time this year. So Hegan had lost 2 straight, and 7 of their last 8 overall, hoping for a win to plug.
Yep, they're going to get
the floodgate. Yeah, the shooter knocked down on the attempt. Mullen made the save, and then the whistle was blown.
Hit late on 25.
It's J.J. Bright.
Locking him, too.
Senior midfielder. Getting a little bit of a scolding from first-year head coach Nick Lambros as he heads towards the penalty box. Durant will join him on the sideline. Coach Lambros pats the senior on the helmet as he takes a knee in the penalty box. That, I believe, Roger, is the first Souhegan penalty of the afternoon.
It is.
We had seen 3 earlier from Concord.
3 earlier from Concord, and that's a lock penalty too. And I don't know if that's a warranted lock. He must have thought that it was something a little more aggressive than it should have been, because it's been a tame game.
Shot
off,
knocked down. I think did Mullen get a piece, or that hit the side of the net? Either way, it didn't go in. Sabres have it. Long outlet. They find a man in the middle. That's Nolik. Scored the first Souhegan goal back in that 3rd quarter. Nolik gets the step down the middle. Pass intercepted. Tried to go across the zone. Leahy was ready. The senior able to pluck it from the sky. Clears it himself along that far sideline. Comes back middle for Tarbell. Tarbell top of the box. Swung. O'Brien. Quick shot. Knocked down by Mullen. Again, the trigger man was Savoy. Mullen was ready. And another violation here on the, looked like on the outlet attempt by Souhegan. I mean, interference there, again, against the Sabres will keep it here with Concord.
Yeah, that's the second time in a close in that we've had that, and I'm not quite sure what he's seeing. Is he obstructing?
Is the defender maybe trying to clear out?
Yeah.
The defender trying to clear out the attackman to free up room for his goaltender, something like that?
It could be. Yeah, Mullen should do his part by getting out of the crease, too, circling back around.
There's a bouncer by Doherty that's off target.
I want to see what Doherty's shooting percentage is today. He has missed the goal quite a few times.
You're okay with that as a coach, though, right? As we get a steal here by Brady Melvin, as long as they're intelligent takes, right?
Yeah. If you have backup and you're getting the ball back, I guess. I some of the shots he's taken, though, with the exception of the ones that have whistled over the bar, just have looked really ugly. It just they're not at good angles, and he's not getting a good release.
He has played pretty well today, though. A few ground balls and a goal to his credit.
Oh, yeah.
Going to take a pass here and pull it back out. Now O'Brien, his teammate, will take over. Deep on the near side wing. We come up on 3 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Concord looking to add on to a 7-4 lead. O'Brien giving room as he jogs here in the near corner, goal line extended, eyeing the action out in front of the net. Still given plenty of room by the defender J.J. Bright, who just returned from the penalty box. O'Brien draws the slide. He had his man Doherty, but Doherty couldn't reel it in on the cut. Now it's loose on the far side. Nelson with a stab. Pulled out, though, and a good play off the bounce by McDonald. Concord keeps it. Tarbell up top. Sends it near side. Wide open O'Brien. Shot deflected. Not sure who that was who got a piece. It was either Mullen or the defender in front, Brady Crow. Either way, it sails out of bounds and stays here with the home team.
Yeah, Danny O'Brien needs to take a shot there. That's the second time he's tried to go cross crease when he had a clear look at the goal and chose to go with the potential assist. But he had a good look.
Tarbell knocked down Garant, and then he's hammered by Davidson. Second defender on the scene, knocked Tarbell to the ground. And what do we got here, Roger? A timeout? We got a timeout first before the hit.
Wow.
Timeout, Souhegan. Coach Lambros from the sideline issued the timeout, and then his player was knocked to the ground. So,
yeah, it's going to be number 2 for sure, but is it?
I don't think there's a penalty.
There is. It's a cross check. I was waiting to see if he was going to go the cross check or push route, but
I thought the timeout came before the push.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the whistle until after. That's why they did whistle it dead, because the ball, there was no possession there, and Concord should have gotten that ball back. If you watch here, he gets hit. I think the ball is not picked up by anybody from Souhegan. So
did it exit his stick, though, or is it still hiding in the head?
No, it looked like it was still in the head of his stick,
right?
Which means they still have possession. But if Concord called the timeout, which they must have,
I thought Souhegan called it.
That's the only explanation here, because they should not have whistled that dead and listened.
Right.
Okay. See, ball's in his stick there.
Was there a flag thrown, though?
Yes, he threw it over here.
Okay.
There was no question about the flag. I was questioning whether or not there was a push or a cross check. But you're correct. I mean, they should not have whistled that. And if it was a timeout by Souhegan, it was done because the far referee did not see that ball
didn't come out. Right, if that were the case.
Or he may have thought his own man had possession, and that's just a mix-up between the officials.
Well, I'm looking over now at the penalty box.
It should be number 2 with a cross-check. Yes, he's there.
Is he?
He is right there on the pin.
Yep, there he is, down on his left knee. That, of course, is Billy Davidson. So, Sabres take their second penalty of this fourth quarter after going penalty-free for the first 3 quarters.
And 2 big penalties, too.
Here in the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. Ooh. Nelson trying to make them pay. Can't do it. Still stuck at 7-4 here. That was our score coming into this fourth quarter. All right, Roger, another question here. If you're Concord, how aggressive are you on this man up?
Oh, you do it.
You go ahead and play it no matter what.
Get right to it.
Regardless of the time remaining. Right?
Get right to it.
Yeah,
you don't stop now. Too early.
Another long ground ball ends up with Concord. Been a bit of a theme as the home team has gotten those 50-50 balls more often than not. Great play by Garant. Changes speeds, shakes off the defense, gets the clear. Going to work it down to Manning, who's going to finish. Tic-tac-toe for Souhegan. The assist goes to Colin Douglas. Gorgeous end-to-end team play there. And the Sabres are within 2 again. It's 7-5. Still plenty of time to go here in this fourth quarter, 7.5 minutes.
Boy, sometimes you can go through an entire season and not see a shorthanded goal. And we've had 2 of them back-to-back. We had that 3-man down goal by St. Thomas.
That's right.
Against Wyndham, and here we have this one here with Souhegan. So, hey, things change around in this game quickly, as I said, and with more than 7 minutes left in this contest, that's why the Tide need to really go at the goal with that extra man.
Souhegan trailing 5-0 in halftime. Largest gap they had faced today. Back within 2. Came within 2 about midway through the third quarter as well after they scored a man-up goal to cut Concord's lead to 5-3. So now again it's on the Crimson Tide to answer. They have not scored in this fourth quarter. Tarbell has scored 3 times today. Slips on the grass, regains his footing but lost the ball. Taken away by Morin. Morin short pass, Garant. Turns on the speed. Garant down the middle. Got a man to his right over his head. Tried to find Lawrence on a cut to the cage. The 2 not quite on the same page there, and it goes back to Concord.
Yeah, I don't know if Lawrence was expecting that pass. Garant had an easy shot to the goal, and he kind of turned his whole body to get that pass over to him, and I think it just handcuffed him.
Meanwhile, a good play at midfield by Garant. Forced the giveaway from Nelson to get the ball back for his team. Souhegan down 2 as we hit the midway point, fourth quarter. Clock starting to become a factor as we head towards 6 minutes.
Whoa.
That's Douglas. Tough shot there from deep. Kind of jammed up on the release. 2 defenders in the area. It'll stay with Souhegan.
Lots of changes now. Getting different personnel on the field for the Sabres.
Coach Lambros bringing back Owen Nolik. Scored Souhegan's first goal back in the third quarter.
Ooh, nice.
Nolik should have some fresh legs. Meanwhile, Garant, speaking of fresh legs, gets the step, draws a slide, tried the split dodge there at the last moment, coughed it up. And with that, a definitive timeout from the Souhegan sideline. That is their second charged. So Coach Lambros out of options in terms of timeouts here with still nearly 6 minutes to go in regulation. Senses, though, this is a big moment. His club within 2, got possession, a chance maybe to draw something up. You get a goal here, you cut the goal and you cut the deficit in half, rather, and you're right back within 1 at 7-6.
Yeah, I want to see what transpires out of this because I don't know if I would have taken the timeout right then. There's a lot of game left. You're only within a couple of goals here of taking things forward, and they've been kind of dominating the play here, I would say, with the exception of the 2 penalties. They've been getting their looks down on this end. Maybe about halfway through the third.
They've outscored Concord 5-2 here in the second half.
Yeah, and if they did call that timeout at the penalty on the cross check on Tarbell, and that is truly their second.
Yeah, we're still not quite sure on that. On that previous timeout, who was charged with it. I guess by the book, it should have been Concord because they came out of the timeout with possession, right?
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
Because, number one, you're calling a timeout because you don't want to lose possession, but I don't think he saw that the ball was out of his stick.
Well, we'll find out.
Side,
I guess we're going to have to wait and see. We may find out what happens if there's another timeout called from Souhegan.
Yeah.
That'll answer our question. 1 each. All right, I guess they got.
So it had to be Concord.
That's what we thought.
It had to be Concord.
We'll stick with that story here. 1 timeout left each way here for the final 5 minutes and 50 seconds. All right, Garant on the restart. Big opportunity here for the Sabres. They've trailed all afternoon. By as many as 5 to start this second half. They got a chance to get within 1 for the first time since the early minutes of the first quarter.
Turn.
Beautiful. Shot, scored, Douglas. Carved out a great spot in front of the cage. It goes around the horn. Ends up with the senior co-captain who gets his first goal of the afternoon. Coach Lambros got to be happy with that out of the timeout. His club is back within 1 at 7-6.
Yeah, they went into circle and planted one guy on the crease, and then they just flipped. The guys just flipped around, and Douglas popped up off the crease, and that was an easy look for was that Manning? Number
Douglas.
7? Or
Douglas.
No, Douglas got the goal, but
Yeah.
Brady Crow was the assisting guy, I believe, number 7.
Yeah, Crow, who's played well today. Also one of the co-captains, so 2 members of the official leadership. Checking in there. Souhegan is within 1.
Wow.
Concord comes up with a big answer at X.
That's our first clean face-off win today.
That's Zan Alberici, senior midfielder, who's battled hard this afternoon for the home team. Crimson have it. And now again, Roger, walking that fine line here, trying to kill some clock with a 1-goal lead, coming up on 5 minutes to go, but the way Souhegan has been surging here in this second half, Coach Smith, I think, wants a goal here, right?
You have to. You've got to go to the goal. You've got to forget about what just happened here in the last period and a half, and you just got to put it to it.
You know, that pass dropped out in front. Savoy looks like had a little shooting room, too, at the top of the crease, but dropped it. Ultimately, Souhegan gets to it, and here come the Sabres looking for the tie. Maddox McGrath in transition. Up ahead, Lawrence took his eye off it.
He did.
Gets away from him, turned right back over to Concord.
Yeah, and this is a game of runs, and Souhegan's got the run, so you need to find a way to stop it. We've talked about that a lot this summer.
Meanwhile, trouble for the long pole. Fredrickson in his own end. Barely escapes with possession. The ball rolls out of bounds back to Concord. Good pressure on the ride by Manning. Now the long pole. With a stop and start along that far sideline will escape. Fredrickson a short pass across midfield. Taken by O'Brien. Concord's got it. We tick down towards 4 minutes. O'Brien still coming behind cage near side. The defender hot on his heels. That's Josh Dupoy.
Yeah, now's the time where you just got to settle in. You got to settle in.
It's Doherty. Oh, he had O'Brien across the crease. Ball bounces off O'Brien's stick. It's backed up, though, with a few feet to spare here by Savoy to keep it at this end for Concord. Move inside of 4 minutes.
A lot of space here.
Doherty took a pretty good shot. Dupoy staying with him. Slide comes over. They drop it up. Tarbell.
Oh, nice play.
Got a man open. Nelson fanned on it. Then Nelson knocked to the ground, and a ground ball goes to McGrath for Souhegan. Trying to find Morin. It gets away from him and ultimately ends up out of bounds right at the feet of Coach Lampros on the Souhegan sideline.
A little intensity down there in the offensive zone for the Tide. And, man, Souhegan could have had something going there on that clear.
Now Coach Lambros' Sabres trying to force a turnover here on the ride.
Oh,
Doherty knocked down. In the area is Davidson for Souhegan as well. Ultimately, it ends up with Bouvier for the Sabres. And what do we got here?
I have no idea.
A whistle will give it back to Souhegan.
Came from the trailing referee.
Official, right. Meanwhile, Garant, top of the box. Souhegan looking to set up shop. They're within 1, a chance to tie. Inside of 3 minutes. Sabres have trailed all afternoon. Garant to his right. Being forced to his right by Tarbell. Swing it here. Shot. And Douglas is swallowed up. Bettens was ready for that. Outlet taken near side by Jones. Short pass up the field. Collected by Leahy. Concord gets the clear. The long pole now. Being hacked at by Morin, and a flag is going to fly. Penalty on the way against the Souhegan defender. Concord loves that as we're down to 2:20 and ticking. Going to pull it out. Tarbell in no hurry, standing still here near midfield, forcing Garant to come out and get him.
Good matchup here.
Going to run to the far side, going to jog to a slow standstill along the far sideline, and now come back to the middle. Tick, 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 tick. Down inside of 2 minutes now.
All right, Nagel, just put the signal on. They got to go to the goal.
If you're Souhegan, you have to go get him, right?
Yeah.
At this point?
Yeah.
Still a penalty on the way against the Sabres. Slide comes over. Pass up top for Tarbell. Taking him below the knee to his right. The bouncer is finally offered up. It goes on to play, and now we get the stoppage.
Yeah, it's going to be...
With 1:38 to go against Souhegan with a penalty on the way. Sabres still trailing here 7-6.
Yeah, it's going to be Moran with a slash. He came up over the top of the Concord player and gave him a good wrap across the shoulder, and that was right in front of the referee, so no question there.
It's a fine line you got to walk if you're the trailing team on defense, right? You got to look to force the action, but you can't commit the penalty.
Yeah, and I think both referees have done a really good job here in the last 12, 13, 14 minutes of making a few non-calls and let these boys play this out because it is a close game, and that could have been dangerous.
O'Brien avoided the double team there.
Yeah, and he got his stick caught, the defender's stick caught between his legs. That's how you tear an ankle and end up.
Melvin going to try to close out. O'Brien trying to shake off the long pole. Back near side, Doherty unchallenged in the corner. We're down to 1 minute. Souhegan's really got to sell out here. I know they're a man short, but they got to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Concord just going to move it behind the cage.
They almost need to go and jump with the goalie here. Get a double.
2 players behind net, 2-man game. Doherty, a little flip pass. Taken by O'Brien. Tick, 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 down to 40 seconds. Doherty behind cage, back to the far wing. Back to even strength now as Morin comes back on. Morin trying to challenge Tarbell. Tarbell to his right inside of 30 seconds. 2 men now on the trail. Tarbell still holds. Goal line extended near side. Flips it back behind the cage. Doherty swings it for O'Brien. Starting to get some applause here from the Concord parents. We're down to 15 seconds. Looks like the Crimson Tide are going to hold off Souhegan for their 3rd straight win. Now we get a timeout with 9 seconds remaining. Coach Smith maybe...
He had to have been one.
Wants to make sure his guys are collectively on the same page here to finally kill off the remaining 9 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him about that because his team was doing everything correct there. They were staying wide in the circle. They were moving the ball, and when they got played, either adjacent or from a lock-off, they were running, which you want to do. And everything was being done south of goal line extended. If you're going to lose the ball at this point of the game, in a one-goal game especially, you want to lose it down low. You don't want to lose it up here in the midfield. And it looked to me like they were doing all of that and more to control that ball and kill this clock. But, we said it in the Derryfield game. We've said it other times throughout this season and last season. This may be one of those teaching moments that you need to, as he said, most of his players are not full-time lacrosse players. And
well, I'd imagine Coach Smith is going to look back at this one and be pretty pleased overall. You don't like the fact that you got beat in the second half. That 5-0 lead turned into 7-6. You don't like that, but overall, I thought that Concord did a lot of good things collectively today, really at both ends.
Yeah.
And now they are in a position to bring it across the finish line here with 9 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
All right, out of the timeout, I can't quite see who's got it. I think it's O'Brien.
Look at the set he's putting in here. He's stacking everybody up.
Tarbell can't find it. Davidson couldn't keep it in bounds. Or now does. It was turned over by Concord, but Souhegan's just about out of time, down to 1 second. Bettens will secure it, and that'll do it. Concord able to hold off Souhegan in the end and win this one on their home field. 7-6 is the final. The Crimson Tide have now won 3 straight and are above the 500 mark for the first time this season at now 6 wins and 5 losses.
Yeah, and as you said in your prior comments there about how Souhegan really controlled the play in this second half, I think they're going to look back on this film too, and Concord that is, and they're going to see and count how many times they missed the goal today, and how many shots went wide, and how many shots were ill-advised, and because they took, I would say, easily twice as many shots as Souhegan did, and they didn't connect, and that's the result, a 1-goal win.
Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising sponsor of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait. It's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the Seacoast. Visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com. And also girls.NHTomahawks.com. By the Dead River Company, a full-service heating provider committed to keeping New Hampshire warm with propane and heating oil. Learn more at deadriver.com. And finally, by the Bean Group and Roger Howe Real Estate, your local professional for all types of real estate, residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties. Call 603-247-1583. All right, back in a moment. Full recap on the way out of town. Scoreboard. Roger's got the final stats. We've got the highlights as well. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Post-game next. Concord with a win over Souhegan. 7-6. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.NHTomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company, it's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Thank you, bro. Back here in Concord, Souhegan, a good effort in the end. The Crimson Tide, though, they come away with a win. It's their third straight. Final score 7-6. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Got off to a good start for the Crimson Tide. They scored 2 goals in the first quarter. The junior Joey Tarbell put the home team in front. Again, 2-0 after 1. Concord piled on in the second quarter. Nathaniel Doherty, midway through the frame, made it 3-0 with his first goal. The defenseman, Max Leahy, with a nice-looking shot, lit the lamp with inside of 5 minutes. And then in the final 90 seconds before halftime, Parker Savoy made it 5-0 home team. Too many turnovers in that first half for Souhegan. But to the Sabres' credit, they came out and looked like a different team in the third quarter. They scored 3 goals. Owen Nolik, then 2 from Aiden Lawrence, the second on a man up. Made it 5-3 and really breathed some life into the visitors. We had a game on our hands again. Concord responded, though, with about 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Tarbell's third made it 6-3, and then McDonald off a Tarbell feed in the final 2 minutes made it 7-3. Manning, with 19 seconds left, scored his first for Souhegan, and that's where we were heading into the fourth quarter, 7-4. Concord. Souhegan trying to climb their way back, a shorthanded goal. Manning second, about 5 minutes in, made it 7-5, and then Colin Douglas on a shot coming out of the timeout, carved out position, scored with just outside of 5 minutes to make it a 1-goal game. And then both ways, both defenses kind of clamped down, and we were stuck at 7-6 going into that final minute. Concord held the ball. Souhegan never got it back, and that's where we end up. 7-6 the final. Concord has won 3 in a row and are above 500 now for the first time all season at 6-5.
Yeah, 6-5. It's looking good for them. This is a game, if you don't make corrections at halftime, if things aren't going your way, then you're just going to get something of the same old, same old. We saw this yesterday, the Bedford BG game. Bedford played just amazing lacrosse. It was 5-5 at halftime, but Coach Cameron came out and they changed things up and they just put it right to Bedford, and they got the win. And here today, I was impressed with what Coach Landros did at halftime. Their defense essentially shut Concord out in the fourth quarter. They didn't get any points in the fourth quarter, and every shot they made, it seemed to it went wide. Both goalies were equal to the task today. I had them at 8 and 8 for saves, and no one really had a huge advantage at the face-off X. As you mentioned, or I said, there was only one clean face-off, all day long, but it was 10-6 Concord in their favor, which you'd expect because they're playing on grass. This is their home field. They should know how to traverse that. So very impressed with the way Souhegan really came out in the second half and gave Concord everything they could handle.
All right. Other games tonight, kind of a light Tuesday in week number 5, but there are a few games to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we had a late start at at Merrimack. Pinkerton is at Merrimack. No signs of life on the Twitter sphere for that one, and we're looking at a really great contest. I'm hoping we can get some feedback from them. Nashua South at Exeter today. That's the marquee game of the day, I think, besides this one here in Division 1.
All right. We remind you, we're on the air Thursday for a battle of the unbeatens on the girls' side. Bedford at Bishop Girton. It's a rematch of last year's Division 1 semifinals. Our coverage gets off the ground about 5:45 Eastern Time. Game gets underway at 6 from Stello Stadium. Again, that's Thursday night. Coach Cameron, head coach at BG, will join me in the booth on the call for the Bulldogs and Cardinals. That comes your way again on Thursday. And then, of course, Sunday, we recap the week that was and preview the week ahead on FNL Lacrosse, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. That's every Sunday at 9 a.m., only on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Want to thank really the Concord staff here, right? Making it easy for us, showing us where to park, letting us unload.
The ladies in the Boosters Club, I guess, as Jeff Smith told me earlier, that they helped us out with information and rosters today for Coach Lambros, who doesn't coach or doesn't teach at the school. So, we got everything we needed in due time.
Yeah, help from both sides, Souhegan and of course, the Concord Athletic Director and his staff here. We appreciate them. I want to thank our sponsors as well, Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, New Hampshire iPhone Repair, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, the Dead River Company, and, of course, Roger Howe Real Estate and the Bean Group. We appreciate the support. Want to thank John Barron, back on the scene here, getting out here early, pulling up the car, making sure we are technically sound and ready to rumble here. We appreciate John and his work behind the scenes. Of course, his partner in crime, our director, back in the Beals Insurance Studios, the man behind the curtain, Ben Beals, doing a great job, as always, again this afternoon. For my partner, Roger Howe, did a fantastic job, my friend. Appreciate it.
Take
my
me
name
outside anytime.
is Nick Anastas saying so long on this sunny Tuesday afternoon. Final score, final time, Concord 7, Souhegan 6. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.